Welcome back to the channel. So today I've got the 2022 M850i Coupe in Tanzanite blue. Yeah, 2022 came a little bit early. I do apologize for the breeze, so it may interfere with some of the audio, but the 2022 model year for the 8 Series brought lots of changes, but nothing to the car itself. It's more about adjusting the price. So I think BMW realized that they made a mistake on the pricing, and they've adjusted each one of those down. So what's no longer available is the 840i in regular trim. So the 840i in the US, that is M Sport only. So anything else other than M Sport is discontinued for the US market. So this particular car, I think last year started about $110,000 or so. Now it starts at $99,000 and change. I think it's just a hair under $100,000. So a pretty decent adjustment price-wise for the M850i Coupe. The Grand Coupes also got similar reductions, as well as the M8. So we'll talk about the M8 when we get some more in, and they should be in very shortly, depending on when this video airs, or excuse me, is published. So let's talk M850i. So it's powered by the N63 4.4 liter V8 twin turbo engine, puts out 523 horsepower and 553 torques, or pound-feet of torque, if you're an old person and not Jeremy Clarkson. So it's the same torque figure as the M8 and M8 competition, as well as some other M vehicles as well. But 523 horsepower is pretty damn good, pretty impressive for a car. Any car these days, right? So we get the 20-inch 729M wheels here, bi-color. Lots of spokes. I think it looks pretty decent. Sort of reminiscent, if you will, of an Alpina wheel. It's not quite as many spokes. But we got the M Sport brakes up front, so 6-piston caliper and single-piston floating caliper in the rear. Tanzanite blue is extra option. I believe that one's $1,950. But I think, at least in my opinion, the 8 Series Coupe is probably the best-looking car BMW currently makes. I go between this, the Coupe, and the Grand Coupe versions of the 8 Series. They both look fantastic in my opinion. Out back, we got the Cerium Gray badges, xDrive and M850. You do technically have a quad exhaust because the surrounds there are just, I don't know, Matt Watson would call them fake, but there are quad exhausts back here, just hidden, so not as obvious as the M8. But Tanzanite, one of my favorite colors. I mean, it's really dynamic. So you go from really dark blue in the shade, and in the sun, that dark blue comes out really nicely. And we'll talk about the interior as we walk around this vehicle when we get there. Alright, so opening the door, you are greeted with Tartufo and black. So it's a bi-color interior. I think it's a little bit unusual. Usually you go Tartufo, it's full Tartufo. I think it's a really good looking brown. I think it goes really well with Tanzanite. Other colors that go well with Tanzanite would obviously be ivory or silverstone. And maybe if you want to go a little bit more Spider-Man style, the Magma Red, or I believe it's in the 8 Series, the Fiona Red. Alright, so we got your carbon core designation here. Door sills, M850i. Looks really nice. The seats look great. They are very comfortable as well. I really like the attention to detail and the stitching. Seats are fantastic. So interior-wise, it's a little bit of a step up from, say, like a 3 Series or 5 Series, but it still has that reminiscent feel. The other cars in the range. The center console looks slightly different, but still looks pretty good. So we got the glass controls here. So shifter, iDrive controller. Gone, I think I've mentioned this in another video, is the volume button there with the glass controls. Alright, so the Tartufo is actually included in the price of this vehicle, which is a pretty good deal. There's another package that was reduced in price. It's the, I think they call it the driver assistance package, which is basically gets you the parking assistance, 360 cameras, drive recorder, and a few other things for just $100. Of course, we do have the driving assistance professional package on this car, so it's another $1,700. Glass controls are $650. We did get, I don't know if I mentioned it on the outside, but we'll take a look at it as well. There's an optional carbon fiber roof available for the 8 Series Coupe. That adds another, the M carbon fiber roof adds another $3,000. And of course, we got the Bowers & Wilkins sound system, which is probably a must-have because, well, this one I think comes standard with the Harman card. So as of this recording, that has not been affected by the shortage in chips. Of course, that can change as of the recording. If you're ordering a car and it's got standard Harman card, it's going to get the Harman Kardon sound system. But some cars you can actually upgrade to the Bowers & Wilkins, so consider that. We've got the extended Shetland trim, and that's about it. We can talk about rear passenger room, which is, I think, poor for an adult. But you see, there's room, in quotes, for 2 other people here. Depending on whether or not they have legs, they might be comfortable. I think you probably remember that Jeremy Clarkson bit where I think it was the 1 Series hatchback where for leg room in the back, you basically had to saw off the legs of the passengers. You're probably in that territory now with the 8 Series Coupe. See if I can fit. Yeah, you do have to do quite a bit of gymnastics to get in here. Now, obviously, headroom is a problem, as well as legroom. It is not comfortable in the back here for anyone of an adult size in terms of height. Little kids probably fit here. I think you'd be much more comfortable in the convertible version of this thing and the Grand Coupe. So you're not buying this car to lug around 4 people, including the driver. So it's really I guess you call it 2+2, 2+ whatever you can sort of store in the back here. It's really not for passengers. And getting out is a pain in the butt. Alright, so here's your carbon fiber roof. Looks pretty standard. Not as sort of aggressive and finsy as the new M3, M4. But, I mean, not a bad option. Otherwise, you go with the I think it's a panoramic moonroof. But I think one thing that still remains with the M850i, at least some of the 50i's, is the exhaust note. So it does have a little bit of crackles and bangs in it still. Just sort of reduced in the duration of them. So let me point this towards the back. So I do have this in Sport Plus. It has been warmed up as well. But not bad. Alright, so we'll take one more walk around this gorgeous tanzanite color with Tartufo brown and black interior. Great looking wheels, great looking coupe. Now surprisingly, this is only about, I think it's about 2 inches or so longer than the 4 Series Coupe. Now, you have the 4 Series Coupe next to it. You sort of see some resemblance. I think this one's a little bit more narrow, and of course, passenger room in the back is essentially non-existent in the 8 Series, but tolerable in the 4 Series Coupe. But let us know what you think of the brand new 2022 M850i xDrive Coupe. We'll see you at the next one.